salutations to viewers and coins of the vault alike. I am Tatsumari, the self-proclaimed keeper of Maple Story lore and stories alike. There are many who do it, but I am the only one who does it like me. Ha ha ha! Tonight, on this stream, we're doing a couple of things. First off, we're going to be doing some writing along to continue on with the May the Words event over here. Let's see, do I still have the thing up? There it is. Event where writers, streamer writers and writers alike come together and help each other get better at everything they do. And then you can contribute your words to any one of the streamers that are a part of this event. Any one of those out of that list right there, check them out, give them a follow, and help us get to our goal of 1.5 million words, which, if I remember right, we're actually pretty close to this. Yeah, we're at 85% of the goal. We're at halfway in the month, and we're 85% of the way there. So, let's see if we can do it. Now, for all of my community over here, I had an ultimate goal of 50,000 words. We are currently, I want to say a little over halfway there. Maybe 2/3 there for that particular goal. And Nerdarine is a little bit more than halfway to his goal of 500,000 words for his community overall. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a big, heavy rewrite on Korax the Dragon's Heir because the first version that I did, if you guys were here on Wednesday, I just didn't like it. So I'm going to be scrapping it all and starting again. Also, on last week, Friday, I got a little tap on the shoulder from YouTube saying, hey, we didn't like the fact that you didn't ask permission to use that music. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm not going to have any music on stream. I will share the playlist that I use while I am writing, so you guys can listen along with me if you so desire. It'll be both, I'll share it both on YouTube and over on Twitch, so that way you guys can follow along. But before we get too much further, we need to let Twitch take its pound of flesh, because if I don't, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, especially, and without you guys either. Oh, but before anything else, we have something we must address. We have a new coin in the vault! Callie writes, a new coin of the vault. Welcome, welcome. You are the new shiny coin, and I hope you're at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. All right, now we're going to have ourselves a quick ad break over here. For those of you on YouTube, you will see me convene with my dragon brethren and discuss draconic things. While those of you on Twitch, you may just get the same thing, or you may get some ads, unfortunately. But either way, you shall be back shortly, and then we shall get into it. So don't go anywhere. We shall be back after these massages. right, let me get back over here to the writing office. Whoa. So, this is what we're going to do. If you guys want to listen along, this is the playlist for those of you on Twitch, and this is the playlist for those of you over on YouTube. You can listen along this playlist as I am working, because last time I did it, yeah, YouTube didn't like it too much. So, what's going to happen is I am listening to the song or the video on this called... Ooh, it's a little loud on my side. As soon as I can do stuff. It is called Violin Metal, a fragile melody survived inside the darkness. That is the video I'm going to be listening to while I'm writing. You can listen along if you want to, or any of the other songs that are a part of this playlist as we are writing. And let's see, let me get the timer up here. No, not 2 hours. There we go. So, and another thing we're going to be doing tonight is, for those of you who are interested and have done stuff, we're going to be reading from the prompts, or the short stories from the prompt. I know I took a little time for me to actually get it up on YouTube in the community section of my channel, but it is there, and here is the thing up here. So if you'd like to have it read live on stream by yours truly, by all means, do the thing. Alrighty. Now, let us get ready to do some writing. As you guys can see, there is a timer. And that timer, I will be just concentrating on writing for as long as that timer is going. You guys can redeem your rewards, channel rewards, and shed your scales at any time. But the rewards that require my immediate attention, I will not fulfill immediately. So that way I can just concentrate on the writing. However, once the 30 minutes is over, I do have a queue on my side to see who redeemed what and in what order. And once it is over with, I will check that list and see who redeemed what and fulfill them afterward. So, get your music on. Whatever music you want, whether you're using the playlist or not. And let's get ready to do some writing. All right. Knuckles cracked. Tasty beverage on standby. Back correct, chair in the optimal position, keyboard at the ready, and let's get ready to go in 3, a 2, a 1, and go! All right, so that is our first writing stretch over with. Creative one. I talked up graduation day. I lived it in response to my talk up. Very nice. And yeah, doing 8-hour shifts and a 12-hour shifts. Wow, man. Let's give some big old props to Creative One over here. Let's put some hype in the chat for him, or for Creative. Yeah! Surviving all of that. So, with that writing stretch, how many words did everybody get done? Some breathing after all the stuff I've cleaned. Nice. Nice. So, how many words did everybody get done over that writing stretch? I got 401. Not as many as I would have liked, but I had to do a little bit of research on my side and kind of think of what I wanted to do there. 18. I got 18. Oh no, 34, but I decided to try the prompt at the last second. Ah! That still counts as writing. I would still count it. How dare! So, Rednecks, what you stumped on? If you care to share, maybe we can get you past this little Humpty Dumpty and get you rolling on your way. Get you rolling on the river. Two, if I include the words how and dare. A prompt is rough. Oh boy. Well, don't worry too much. I will actually have it both this week and next week. So if you don't get it done this week, you'll still have next week to put it in. You've stumped me with this one. Well, to be completely honest, I just picked it at random. So it's not one that I made up. Maybe on the next one, I'll make up one. So that way you guys can have a break. Is prompt invisible to mobile? Are you on Twitch mobile, Creative? It should be on screen right now. I don't know. I've never used Twitch mobile, so I am not entirely sure what would be on screen or not, but like 98% of the 1,000% of the time. Huh? What? Huh? Huh? Yeah, I don't... it's just really small on mobile. It's almost impossible to... Ah, okay. I see. All right. So, yes. Dude, Creative, you must be tired. Oh, you must be so absolutely knackered. Pooped. But yes, the prompt is, a crippled god is isolated within their only remaining temple. Having lost all their power after their patrons abandoned them, the only thing keeping them alive for the past few years is the unwavering devotion of a single dog. So yeah, let your imagination run wild. Go with it. Is it the Is it the thankfulness of the deity that this dog has kept them from oblivion, or is it that the dog is just happy to be loved? Nope. It is a snail tending their garden. There is that, too. You know, have fun with it. All right. So, let's see. I'm going to be changing music on my side here. Something a little different. Okay, so on that same playlist, there is a video called "This Is What It Sounds Like When Angels Look Away." That is what I'm going to be listening to this round on this next writing stretch. So you are more than welcome to change with me or change up the music on your own if you so desire. All kinds of good stuff. So, who's ready to go for another writing stretch? Let's see. What am I doing? Okay. All right, cool. All right. Let's get ready for our next writing stretch. 30 minutes on the clock. I have changed music. And we shall continue on. In 3, 2, 1, and go! I'm going to leave my mic on this time so you can hear the clickety-clacky of the keyboard so it's not quite so quiet. Well, being that I can't play the music on stream, I might as well give you guys something to listen to, right? Call it discount ASMR. Yep, exactly. No, no, Hugo. I'm just currently just blasting away on the keyboard over here. The music is not being played right now. You can check out the playlist and pick a song out of there if you'd like, or a video out of there if you want to listen along. Just tip tapping along the way. But, yeah. Okay, so we do have an ad break coming up in the middle of this. I'm going to continue going over here. For those of you who are immune to ads, cool. If not, well, you'll be back in a little while. So don't go anywhere. We shall be back after these massages. Very nice, creative. Very nice. Oh my goodness! We have another coin of the vault, book lovers. Oh nine. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing this evening? Hopefully the evening or the morning or whatever time zone you're in is treating you well. Yep. I'm doing pretty good myself. Is rewriting a scene over here that the first time through just didn't go well, and now I'm rewriting it. And I'm just glad that the work week is over. And yes, I know it's kind of quiet right now, but if you want, you can check out the pinned message in the chat over here, and you can check out the playlist that I have made available for everybody to listen to some music. At least a selection of music that I have found across YouTube that I like to listen to while I'm writing. You are more than welcome to check it out and play any of the songs so you can have something to listen to while you tip-type-tup away. So, book lover, tell me, or care to share if you are working on a story or something, or any kind of writing, or do you like to? Are you a avid reader of sorts? It is book. One of them. Nice. Okay. Would you care to share what it is you've written and what kind of the premise of this story is, or would you rather keep it to yourself and just kind of work on it as you go? All right. All good. Alrighty, that is the end of our next writing stretch. So, how many words did y'all get done? Yeah, it looks like I got a good chunk done. I got 550 exactly. 651. Nice. Very nice. Okay, I did better this time. I got 494 words that time. Nice! Alrighty. So, I'm determined to finish the prompt. Well, like I said, if you don't have if you don't get it done this week, it will still be on next week. So it's not like a one and done. It is going to be available next week. I'm just saying if we don't end up getting to it this week, it will be gotten to. If that makes sense. And also part of it is my mistake because I didn't get you guys the prompt soon enough. So that one's, I'll take part of the blame on that one. I'm just writing. I don't expect to have it to read. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, we're all here to put words to page and help each other get better. And just out of my own thing over here, as far as the prompt to go, just coming up to mind, I would kind of think like if I were to do one, it's a good working stream though. I would kind of think if I were to do one of these stream or these prompts, probably not going to do it just because the way work is going and what I've got going on this weekend is just so much. I might do it from the perspective of the deity himself, him or herself, as that, just being thankful for the fact that this dog is keeping me alive, but also knowing that their time is limited, because while a mortal's life is short, a dog's life is even shorter. So I don't know, kind of also think of it as like a final hurrah to try and get any more followers, but also maybe even see it as maybe even write the particular scene as though, the dog is reaching the end of its life and the deity is just there to comfort said dog as things slow until the dog passes away, thus leading to the deity also disappearing. And have like the final line being like, at least the final devotion I received was pure. And then just kind of end it there. That's what I would do. I don't know if that gives you guys any ideas or whatnot, but that's what I would do. Oh boy, I am so tired all of a sudden. Okay, let's see. Don't worry. I'm sure one of you is bound to top it. I mean, it only comes to mind like that probably because of the music I'm listening to right now. Is kind of, and especially if you were to listen, like if you were to see the thumbnail of the video that I am watching right now, and the background of the video that's playing, that's probably has a big portion of it to do with it. Either that story, or like another one you could do, at least the one that comes to mind, is that because of the devotion of this dog, the deity then grants the dog the ability to be like his paladin of him, and basically gives the dog immortality or something like that. My story follows Lilith, starting with her arranged marriage. She is a dragon shifter, which is someone who can be a dragon or human. One of the last, as far as she knows, though she does not know how to use her magic because her mother was worried she would be hunted even as the princess of the kingdom. There was a lot more to her story, but that is the main plot I have so far. All right. So the dragon is the princess. Oh boy. That sounds interesting. Sorry it took long. It's been a while since someone asked me about it. It's okay. It's all right. And like I said, I myself am kind of sort of a writer. So, well, Yeah, I'll call myself a writer. So yeah, that's cool. So so just on your story, book lover, um, does she spend most of her time as a human, or is it kind of like a 50-50 thing between dragon and human? Oh, sorry guys, week is starting to catch up with me. Yes, though the more we go into this story and she starts to understand her powers, the more we will see her in the dragon form. Okay. All right. Well, the Hayden, the work week this week has been brutal. Um so not only last week but also this week altogether it's just been a brutal work week. So it's all it's all starting to catch up to me a little bit. Yeah. So if she's the last of her like at least as far as she knows she's the last of her kind. Do you have well, let me rephrase this. If any of the questions I ask about your stories, if they're gonna or story, if they're gonna give too much away for the story, you can just tell me to shut up and go away and, go polish the vault or something. But being that she is the last of her kind, basically, as far as she knows, is there going to be somebody to possibly help her out in just like a general way of like helping her learn magic, and then she's kind of the she can like learn the ins and outs of her own power, but somebody's going to help her generally with her magic? Or is that kind of diving too much into spoiler territory? And with that in mind, do you have it published anywhere that anybody could go and check it out? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, so I'm just trying to get as many as I can out of the way so there's a little bit of a backlog of something to happen. We mentor plus the man she is marrying is also a dragon shifter, so they both learn more together, with the mentor giving lessons from their home. Okay. So with that in mind then, don't know why don't ask me why I'm getting this kind of I'm not trying to trying to say diminish your story in any way whatsoever. But, just off the top of my head, for whatever reason, in fact, you said like an arranged marriage, it kind of reminds me of the Spyro trilogy, where Spyro the Dragon initially, you know, he had to defeat Ember, and I think it was at the end of the second game, beginning of the third, where they were bound together, Ember and Spyro. Don't have it published anywhere I would like to, but I'm very on and off about writing. Okay. So okay. So hold on. Let me do a thing over here. Yeah, no. This not the not like the basic trilogy from Spyro. No, I'm talking. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was called. Not Spyro Reignited. It was like I think the Legend of Spyro trilogy. Hold on, let me see if I can find. The one where Elijah Wood was the voice of... Yes, that one. Okay, let me see if I can find a playlist that has, or at least the videos of them. Okay, so the first game, let's see. Is called The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me see if this is the one I think it is. Yeah, give me a second here. Okay, yeah. The first game is called Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. That is the first game. And I believe that storyline leads him to fighting a dragoness named Ember. There's a whole like storyline that goes with it. But if you ever get it, let me see. Okay, so this is the first game. If you guys want to check it out. Let's see. Okay, so that's that one. That's that one. Okay, and then the next game after A New Beginning is called The Eternal Night. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Nope, that's just cutscenes. Okay. Okay. So this is Eternal Night. And then the last one is called Dawn of the Dragon. That is the one that I'm most thinking of. That kind of like is an interesting take on something that I was thinking of. Book Lover. see. Here we go. Because, like I was saying, the main characters, Spyro and Ember, from previous games, they end up getting locked together with like magical shackles, and they have to go everywhere together. There is no separating them. So, at least the way the storyline goes, they end up, at first, they're kind of like really just bummed out about the fact that they're stuck together. But eventually, and even at the end of the story, it basically turns into it's a slow progression of a love story between the two of them. So that just kind of made me think of this when you're saying it was an arranged marriage between what actually turns out to be two dragon shifters. That's what came to mind. And if you want, like, this, honestly, between the 3 videos, there's like 15 hours worth of stuff you can watch. This is a full gameplay. These are full gameplay videos of it, but it involves like the entire storyline of it, and I would say you'd probably enjoy it, if nothing else. I know I did. I've watched the whole thing through like 4 times already. Love it to death. And, yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, and I guess I better share it for those of you over on YouTube. This... Oops. Hold on. Well, like I was saying, for those of you on YouTube, the order of the games is... Let's see. Let me see if I can find it again. Find the list, so that way I can tell you guys exactly what to look for. The games are A New Beginning. Oops. Eternal Night, or The Eternal Night. And Dawn of the Dragon. And these are all prefaced with Legend. The Legend of Spyro. There we go. So, yeah. And I believe, what's his name? I forget his name right off the top of my head. That's who it is. Gary Oldman plays Ignitus throughout all the games. So, yeah. Elijah Wood, Gary Oldman, you'll probably like it a ton. Yeah, I will say it was probably like, I want to say like late 90s, early 2000s is when this particular trilogy came out. So you'll find it enjoyable. It was back during the time when the gameplay and the story actually came together to create one full entity rather than focusing on one thing or another. At least that's my opinion. I'm not like a full-on game critic or anything like that, but yeah, that's my opinion on it. And that is where I will stand. Okay. So, what should we do, chat? I have a couple options for you. We only have about 12 minutes left of the stream. So, should we do a writing stretch? Or would you rather I read some of what I've written? And you can, you guys can critique it a little bit. A little bit, a lot of bit. All kinds of stuff. What do you say? Writing stretch, or do you want me to read? You're very welcome, book lover. Yes, being on the planet for a number of eons has its perks. You're writing either way. Okay, well. Read. Okay, we got one vote for reading. Reading. It's just part of my original story that I've been working on for this. For October or May the words. Totally read correct. Okay. So we got 2 votes for read. Don't worry, Hugo. I get it. Okay. So just trying to find something just to close out the stream with. All right. So 2 votes for read. Going once. Going twice. 3 votes to read. Okay. The vote has been passed. Reading it shall be. All right, then. So, may I present to you a rewritten version of an original story I did back in my mid to late teens, Korax the Dragon's Heir. Now again, when we get to the end, you'll feel free to critique it however you wish. Okay? A wise man once said that war never changes. But that man forgot to mention how war changes everything. It was the year 2034 when everything broke. The strain between countries had become so intense that all it took was a simple mistranslation of a peace treaty. Within hours, the world was a glowing husk of its former self. Entire nations were reduced to immense slag pits, while the rich and powerful took the most well-defended cities and citadels, adopting a language that only they would use. But this was not the end. As it became known, the great ending drew new lines for countries, states, and cities. But with so much radiation worldwide, there needed to be a change. Bored millionaires and scientists found ways of using genetics to allow humanity to resist radiation and live without fear. Their research revealed that creatures thought only to exist in fantasy and myth were, in fact, real. Elves, orcs, dwarves, centaurs, satyrs, nymphs, fairies, and dragons lived in the now ancient medieval period. These creatures lived on in the genetic code of modern humanity, and with this discovery, they were brought forward once more after 1,400 years. Races of people once thought to only exist in fairy tales became a reality, and the world began again in the medieval age with the assistance of ancient technologies. Humanity's theaters of war used soldiers in gleaming plate armor and mechanical behemoths for artillery or transport. What was once called science was now called magique, to manipulate many things in the world. It is during this time, when the world has since healed, that our story begins. Chapter 1. Man of Prophecy. He and his child companion had wandered for days, seeking a place to call home. It wasn't easy, as Korax and Shinzo were escorted away by soldiers of every kingdom they visited. The Durana of the North, commonly known as dwarves in fantasy stories, turned him away even before entering their gates. The Sang Shu of the Eastern Empires kept a standing bounty on his head for a year's wages. The Quits of the Plains, a race of pygmy humanoids, nearly killed him on the spot when they learned his name, and every other human kingdom throughout the world would escort him away from their gates.
You must have done some pretty bad stuff for everyone to hate you,
Shinzo chuckled, shifting the heavy bag over his shoulder and resetting his grip on his walking staff. Korax sighed heavily, adjusting the grip on his massive sword, carrying 16 large crystals mounted along the blade's edges. It involves events from my past, he said with controlled emotion. Shinzo shivered. Korax's speech always sounded cold, but betrayed his nature as a powerful protector.
You say that all the time, but what are you talking about? Didn't you say one time that you were a soldier?
Yes.
Can you tell me where from?
Horek.
Horek? In the west? All the way to the west?
Yes.
You must have really screwed up if they kicked you out.
It was their failings, not mine, Korax said, almost sounding angry despite his measured tone.
Care to share?
Shinzo asked with a child's innocence, only to shrink away from his traveling companion when the air around them warmed to bonfire temperatures. No, Korax replied, still measured with his tone, though his eyes narrowed to vertical slits as he glared at the boy. Shinzo nodded his understanding, shifting the backpack once more. Would you like me to carry that for a while? Korax asked, holding out his hand.
Could you please? My back hurts.
Shinzo huffed, handing off the bag and leaning back to stretch.
Where are we headed anyway?
He asked, jogging to catch up. Verioso.
An elfin kingdom? Oh, great. They're all just stuck-up know-it-alls who they think they're superior to everyone. Why go there in the first place? Do you even know Elvish?
It was part of my training in Horek. I know many languages. Shinzo sighed, knowing he wouldn't get any more information before seeing a large rock in the road and running to it.
I need a break. We've been walking for hours,
the boy whined, leaning against his staff and reveling in the shade of a nearby tree. Korax nodded, sitting beside the boy and setting his sword on the ground. While resting, he watched the sparks of light within the crystals twist and dance like a star captured in a glass sphere. As he watched it, the light wavered as a faint whisper hummed on the winds around him, cleaving his thoughts. The sound made his eyes narrow, looking down the road in the direction it came from. It wasn't the voice of flames he'd become so familiar with. It was a whisper that sparked an ache in his heart from long ago. Is she there? And will she remember me? He thought, the lights within his sword shifting to a lavender color.
Korax? What's wrong?
Shinzo asked when he saw the color change, standing up and looking down the road with him. It's nothing. Let's continue, Korax commented commanded flatly, picking up his sword, the dragon's claw, and resting it over his shoulder. The pair walked north in silence, stopping after the sun had set and made camp for the night. Korax held his palm forward as his sleeve pulled back, revealing a blackened bracer. Red-orange light spread through circuit-like veins within the metal and over the back of his hand as flames leapt from his open palm, igniting the pile of sticks for a campfire.
Do you think I could get one of those tech gloves?
Shinzo asked, setting up a few sticks with some of their dried meats. The magic that made them was kept only by Horek. It is doubtful any exist outside its borders, Korax answered, watching the fire dance within the circle of rocks. After eating, and Shinzo was fast asleep, Korax sat a sentry, thinking back to his comrades from so many years ago. Typhoon, Ashni, Nuru, and the others that had been brothers and sisters to him. After a few minutes, Korax could no longer fight his fatigue, his head dropping to his arms. As soon as his eyes closed, he was there again. A dragon the size of a mountain snarled and snapped his jaws as Korax leapt high to avoid his razor-like teeth. But as the massive dragon calmed, rearing his head in a grand display of regal terror, it grinned as flames licked at his lips. "You will become my heir," he boomed, lunging at Korax faster than he could react, waking him with a start. Before him, the campfire had died to become a pile of embers, leaving him and Shinzo trembling in the cool of night. Tossing another few scraps of wood on the pile, Korax snapped his fingers and ignited the wood again, though it took more effort this time. As the power left him, he could feel a pulse through his back, and the crystals within the dragon's claw flared. Still he plagues me, Korax thought, sighing and waiting for the sun to come up. After hours of waiting, the sun finally broke over the horizon and warmed Korax, easing the sore spots on his shoulder blades. With a gentle shake, he woke Shinzo, handing him one of their remaining loaves of bread for breakfast, and helped him pack his blankets before moving on. They made good time, traveling a few miles before coming to a split in the road marked with a finely decorated holographic signpost. One side pointed along the main road with the words Shadowdale written across it, and the other pointed up a road leading into the hills marked Verioso. Okie dokie, so that is where we shall call it a pause there, and we're coming to the end of the stream over here, so yeah, that is at least the beginning of the Dragon's Heir. And now, here comes the scary part. What say you? Nice! Nice, Hayden! Thank you very much, Hayden. All right, cool. I currently don't have this one up anywhere just because it's taking me a long time to get back to it. But I do have, let's see, that was 3 pages out of 28 so far, so I do have stuff. There's still a spot I'm not entirely happy with. I'm going to have to go back and like edit it and post some more. But yeah. So, let's see. How many words did I write overall tonight? Alrighty. I wrote 949 words tonight. Yay! So, if you are interested, you can, whatever words you wrote, you can attribute them to either me or anybody in who is part of the May the Words event. You just go to use the link in there, and it'll take you to a page where you can then click on a spot where it says add your words. You put in your Twitch username, who you want to attribute the words to, and how many words you wrote and how to count them, and that will add them to my list. And then as it will count us, it will get us further towards our goal of collectively writing 1.5 million words. Oh, nice, Hayden. Nice. So, if you are interested, be sure and put your words down. And yeah, we shall have more stuff to add as we march toward the goal that I would like for our community over here in the vault of 50,000 words total. All right. So with that, the community over here is currently sitting at 38,897 words. Yes! And if you add your words too, it'll get even higher. And we are currently sitting at a little bit under 86% of the way of our 1.5 million words goal. We'll get that 50K. Yes, we will! Well, yeah. So, last questions before we get any further. I will again. I'll be like the kitty cat and I'll roll on my back and expose the belly for either rubs or spears. Any critiques on said story or said work that I have presented to you guys? Critiques or comments, let's put it that way. It's all good. It's always interesting to see what comments and stuff like that, or what people like or maybe not like about different things. But yeah, it's fine. Heck, even just saying you liked it a lot it helps. The only reader that does voices. Thank you very much, Hugo. I try. Also, if you guys are interested in something that'll keep your attention, also help me focus on what I was writing. All right, cool. If you guys are interested in a really pretty much finished story, or at least book, you guys can check out Maple Story the Novel. It is a book over on Inkit and Wattpad that I have been working on since around 2000. The story itself I've been working on since around 2011, but I've been only recently started uploading it to Inkit and Wattpad. So I have the first book and 3/4-ish up on there. I'm currently working through the second book right now. So you guys can check it out there. And then if you want to check out more of this story, even beyond what I have on Inkit and Wattpad, you can check it out over on AO3 or FF.net, where you can even check out books 3 and 3/4 of 4 as well. Though, keep in mind, take your time and pace yourself. It is currently sitting at around 837,000 total words over all the books. But you can check out individual books if you so desire. When I get Corax done, I just need the closing. Yeah. When I get Dragon's Air completed, I am thinking about uploading it somewhere so everybody can check it out. But in the meantime, it is still just a document on my computer. But either way, thank you all for coming, and I hope you were at least mildly entertained by what you saw here tonight. And a big old warm welcome to the brand new coin of the vault, Book Lovers 09. I hope you're at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. So, this coming weekend, starting at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday, we will be going back into MapleStory, where we are going to do some wrapping up, some last-minute storylines of the mainline story from Black Heaven. There's like a few straggler pieces left to do from that particular storyline, so we'll wrap that up. And then we're going to get on to the next big storyline of the game called Heroes of Maple. It's, again, another big blockbuster thing. And depending on, it should only take us a couple of weeks to get through it, but at the end of which, you will probably need more tissues. And then on Wednesday, we are going to have a writing stream that is exclusively on Twitch, but we are going to have music this time. So while we're doing writing stretch, you can be rocking out and getting epicness blasted in your ears. And then back on Friday next week, we shall have another writing stream where I'm working on this. Again, it's still part of May the Words, but I'll be doing that writing, and then we can have some readings, short story readings from the prompt. And I look forward to seeing what you guys came up with. Again, sorry it took me so long to get it up, but if you are interested, you can go over to my YouTube channel and check it out over in the community section, community posts, and it will be there for you guys to check out, along with the rules and stuff, so you know exactly what to work with. On beyond that, that's kind of what I have in mind. So, before I go, is there anybody else? Yes. Ooh. There is Usha Phoenix 412, who appears to just be starting their stream. Shall we go and raid them? Raid? Okay. Raid it shall be. So, coins of the vault, prepare to move out.
You ready, Eleanor? Then let's go.